Hey everyone, welcome to another podcast. My name is Navyateja Jaini and this is MindQuest. Thank you for watching previous podcasts. I am again sitting here before you where I'll share some of my life experiences and my perspectives on different things. These might match with the perspectives which you have or might not. That's the beauty of it. So let's get started. Lately, I have been thinking about something. There are a lot of choices which we have to make in life. Every person wants to make a choice, some or the other kind of choice, and they don't want themselves to be judged for it. So if I am planning to wear this shirt, I wish that no one actually gives me a comment on how my shirt looks or how it would look better if I would wear a different colored shirt. It might not be too much for the person to think, whoever is giving some review about me. So, when we are trying to make choices, these choices will yield a result. And what I observed is whenever we are focusing on the result and making the choice, each and every time we come across a thought which we might think that will affect our result, we keep on changing there. For example, we can think of eating something spicy, right? However, if we ate something really spicy and we ate a lot of it, then it might affect our metabolism in different possible ways, which we are not aware of. But we just tried it because there was this little hunch inside our mind saying, you know, why not just give it a try? Go ahead. Why not try spicy food? What's wrong with trying spicy food? I think there's nothing wrong with trying spicy food. But I'm just giving this as an example, considering the point of view of choices, right? So if we are eating a lot of spicy food, okay, and um, I mean, there was a time where used to eat a lot of spicy food, and my face used to grow. My face is red, my nose is dripping. Okay, I have sweat all over my face, and I'm like looking here and there for water. And where can I find some water or a cucumber or something like that so that I could eat and ease the pain or the burning sensation on my tongue. So I am in this constant thing, and even though my decision was to eat the spicy food completely, I ended up actually stopping midway and looking for water for here and there. And when I was done with drinking water, I started eating the food again. So ultimately, my choice won't change. But if that choice has a consequence attached to it, then I might change my ways or my approach to how fast I approach to that choice. If I am playing a video game on my computer or my phone, and I observe that I've sat before the computer for a longer period of time and my head is going to hurt after this, or my brain what's supposed to work properly, it's not working, and there's something wrong with it, then I'll quickly stop for a moment because I know the consequence of over gaming or over visual stimuli, looking at screens for more amount of time. It might drain my energy and also make me kind of it could make me very tired, and this tiredness, to get rid of this again, I'll have to sleep for an extra hour or more time to make everything settle down and then do my thing. So this actually seems good when we think about it, but it is difficult to put it into a perspective, or it's difficult to put it in action. It's easy to decide something and start doing it, but midway when we are about to complete it, we face challenges. And I think suffering actually starts there itself. When we are not thinking about our choices, when we are unaware of what our choices might yield, then it kind of becomes difficult for us own our own self to think and act properly and make things easier for us. Although not everything is easy, right? And we should also not take pride in doing difficult stuff. Pride ultimately undermines the beauty of practice. When you are proud of what you're doing, I'm not against of people feeling proud of themselves, but when you're proud of what you're doing, it kind of creates a hazy image inside your mind saying, yes, I am something special, or yes, I have done something special, or it creates a narcissistic personality. To the people who don't know narcissism, narcissistic personality is a kind of personality like the person, if we call a person a narcissist, that person believes in what he or she is doing. Okay. And this, to be true, to be right, whatever I do is right. A narcissist person's mind says like this. So whatever I do or whatever I think, my way of doing things is the only right way, and other ways are not right. And I, if there is something bad happening because of that, I will not apologize. I'm very unapologetic about it. So this narcissistic mindset, or I'm not saying every person is a narcissist, but somewhere down the line, when we are making different choices in our life, like going to a college, eating something spicy, or eating something very salty, trying to drink a coffee, or if you are making some choices, there is some kind of mindset which is influencing those choices, right? And ultimately, when we are trying to make these choices, and there are consequences to every choice, right? So uh, some of them could be addressed and cured if we do something stupid, like if we step on a slippery road and we fell on it, broke a bone or something, then we have doctors whom we can consult and let them know that this is the issue, and they'll be able to help us, right? We have people who can take care of other people, who are professional enough to take care or at least guide what to do next. But when we are making choices whose consequences we are not aware of yet, then this might become a problematic thing in the down the line. Problematic in the sense we are unaware of what's going to be the consequence of it. There was an experiment which I recently heard on Instagram or somewhere, where a woman actually represented herself as an object. Okay. It was an experiment, and many people were told to interact with that woman's body, and that woman would do nothing for 6 hours, and she'll just stay there. She'll just stand there and do nothing, and any person can come and do anything to her body and she'll say nothing. And actually, she was prepared, and she actually didn't say anything for 6 hours. She is just an object of other people's amusement. So there were some people who were talking before her, who are doing different kinds of things, and there were tools present nearby her, and um, it was written on the board. They did some wild things to that lady who was acting as an object. They did not you know they did not be very generous with her. Someone actually did something to her. Someone actually pulled her hair strands. Okay. And someone actually tried to cut her through using a knife. And when the experiment was over and all, the woman came back to her things, like she stopped acting as an object. And I mean, I would have to literally appreciate the level of resistance power that woman has, whoever did that, whoever planned this experiment. He did not do a great job with using a human being as a test subject for it. Every person got to learn through that experiment is humans would do anything or would make any kind of choice if there are no consequences attached to it. This also mirrors me as well. So as I am a human being, I see things, and if I break something, I'll not feel any remorse towards that, right? If I break, let's say, a block, there is a block, I broke that block, I'll not have any remorse towards that. I'll not feel anything like I broke a block, or I broke a brick, I broke a box or something like that. But if the object whichever I'm looking at, if it's very much useful to you, let's say guitar, A guitar is an instrument which is a very valuable instrument for me, because every person finds some kind of beauty within a musical instrument, through its sound or through its shape and contours. I like both its shape, the way a guitar, the way how ergonomic it is to just place on your thigh and play. And it's I like the design. There are different kinds of guitars which I explored more about once I started learning about guitars. When I hold it, it gives me some kind of energy, and there is an emotional attachment or bonding of me with a guitar, right? Or any string instrument. I love string instruments, so if there is any stringed instrument, the sound just attracts me. And because this speaks to me, I have some kind of feeling with it. And if I see someone breaking a guitar, or abusing it, or making wrecking it here and there, beating it, I feel really bad, because it's a piece of art for me. It might not mean much to the person who is breaking it. Or I have seen some rock concert in which people do break guitars, and it became kind of a trend to break guitars on rock concerts. But those people already have guitars, and they do know, they do value it, but they are doing it for the fans happiness, or whatever might be the reason behind it. But there is no consequence attached to it, right? If I break a guitar, there is no consequence attached to it. He might break his guitar, he can't break my guitar, right? If I have a guitar, I could say this instrument, this beautiful object, brings me some kind of happiness. And if your choices, okay, are conflicting with mine, then you will have a consequence, because you are breaking something which has emotional value with me. Same with human beings as well. If you have a family, okay, if someone like your relatives or someone comes and stands before you, makes some kind of joke, or mockery of the way of life your father or mother chose, okay, the way they raised you, the way you were taught in a home, at school, okay, if they make a mockery, their choice of insulting you will have a conflict with your worldview, or your view on yourself. Every person thinks of themselves as, I am something, okay, and I'll not let other people make fun of me or my parents. And that's completely all right to think that way. And this is how we defend family, because these people put some effort into their lives, okay, they sacrifice certain things so that certain people could be happy. And they provided everything they did not have to their children or the next generation, so that the next generation doesn't have to suffer, or feel bad that they did not have access to certain resources at certain age, okay. And I would say my age group people are still partially living in their childhood as well. I do like to be as a child sometimes. I like buying certain little figurines, or little toys. It reminds me of those golden days back in 2014 or 2013, when I used to be around like 8 or 9, 10, 12 years old. And I enjoyed playing with toys, because that was the only thing I could afford. And these little things have an emotional attachment to us, and our choice of preserving them has an emotional consequence to it as well. The consequence is we are getting a slight happiness through it. I wouldn't say we are fully satisfied by doing that, but we are getting some kind of slight satisfaction or happiness through that. And before this becomes an incurable disease of collecting, we must stop ourselves. Coming to the experiment which I talked about, the woman, when she stopped acting as an object and when she was leaving the room, the people who actually did things to her were asked to sit there itself. Okay. And when the woman, she came out, she looked into their eyes, and none of them could actually look her in her eye. No one who was sitting there could actually look her into the eye, because they knew what they did was immoral, or it did not make any sense. They knew, the people who sat, they knew that whatever they did to this woman who was acting as an object for 6 hours was immoral, and they still chose to do it. So you understand my point. If the choice has a consequence added to it, if there is a consequence to the choice a human being makes, he will think or she will think about making that choice and do it. If there are no consequences, okay, if there are no consequences, or if the person is not educated enough to see the consequence, that person may make any kind of decision, any rapid decision. It might be very crazy decision, or it might hurt a lot of people, emotionally and physically both. So when we are making, or when we are planning to make any choices, we should also think about the outcome, and we should also think about ourselves, how that will affect myself. Let's take my example. If I am going somewhere, I do not talk to people much, because I know myself well, and I have a habit of speaking too much. I speak too much when I get too comfortable with the people. Okay. And this is also a problematic thing. Getting too comfortable with strangers is not a good thing. You might not know what a person is hiding behind his, you know, beautiful smile. So always don't get mesmerized by every person's smile. Think, what are they? What kind of person they might be? Not every person shows his true face unless and until the person is very close to them, right? So don't go through the entire thing like, okay, I'll have to make someone a friend, and if I want to view his true face, I'll have to be very much indulged in his life. No, you don't have to take anyone's life or anyone's pain to your head. Okay, you don't have to do that. But the best thing you could do is have a conversation, just a normal conversation, and know where you're supposed to stop. There is, like, if we observe someone shooting a movie, the director says, okay, start now, rolling. Rolling is a term came because there were the camera used to roll the I mean yeah, there was a roll of film which used to record pictures. Okay, a video is basically pictures, 24 pictures, which makes 1 second of a it makes 1 second of a video. So every person who has idea of this simple technology would understand the idea rolling, because back then taking pictures was really a big of a task, and rolling thing used to be done manually. So I'm talking about the time when Charlie Chaplin was making movies. So Charlie Chaplin, when he was making movies, they had to roll the thing, so they used to roll it. Or I think back the cameras used to have manual rolling. So when he says start and rolling, every person starts talking and actors start acting and all. Once the shot is over, director says cut, and when he says cut, it stops rolling. The cameraman stops rolling it, and there is no reel or nothing recorded there, and everything goes back to normal. Okay, everyone goes out of the character. It's similar kind of thing while we are talking with a stranger, or a person whom we just met. If I met a woman or a man who does not share the same interests as me, I will sit down and think before I speak, because whatever I speak might yield a consequence or might not. I am not sure how that person will respond to it. The best possible way of talking to them is by not offending them, or you know getting to know them better. Talk in a way which doesn't hurt them, and also which showcases your memory, or which showcases what you want to say. And I felt recently I had to talk with a lot of people. Okay, and I really enjoyed talking to them, because we got to share different ideologies. We have something in our mind, that person has something going in his mind, I have something going in my mind, other people have something going in their mind. So if we randomly ask about something, any random topic, let's say, what color shirt would you buy if you are in a store? Or what kind of coffee would you like? Do you like espresso? Do you like a cappuccino? Or what kind of what things are something which you like? What are the things which you dislike? And when we not specify much details, I mean, this is also our choice, right? When I'm speaking about choices, this is also our choice to not specify much in the question and let the person decide what answer they should give. And if we are not specifying, that person will start from ground level. Okay. Let's say if uh, if you're 20 years old, okay, or if you're 25 years old, let's say you have seen the world in such a way that you have some or the other kind of choices. You hang out with your friends, you speak with them, you tend to do the things which your friends also do. Okay, and when you're trying to do these things, you'll have an outlook on what you truly are, and your choices are also hovering around that. Like what your friend does, you do it again. Okay, if your friend has a habit of wearing cargo pants, you'll also try and buy a cargo pant to fit in. Okay, or he likes wearing jogger, you'll also wear a jogger. Or you're bound to do what other people do. If let's say you are in an office and a lot of your colleagues actually buy a typical type of phone, okay, and you want to fit in. Okay, so you buy the same kind of phone they buy, and you feel included whenever you are speaking with them. These are just something which we don't notice, just subtle things which we don't notice about, but there is a lot of thought process behind that. Like I mentioned, you want to fit in with your friends, and whenever you are fitting in, you try to do something similar to them so that you could attract them, or so that you could feel included. Every time, every person, whenever, whatever things, whatever decisions they are taking, it is all in the pursuit of feeling included or being included. If you are in a society, you are living somewhere, it's okay if other people or your neighbor don't bother you. They are just like, okay, let that guy take care of his own business, I'm not meddling with. He's going to work, I won't care. He's going to eat a pizza, I won't care. Okay, that's a very wonderful society to have, because people who don't care are the people whom we meet the least. So there are very less people who care much about human beings or much about other people's lives. I met some people who share the similar kind of ideology. So if I met one of my colleagues in my office, he said, "Bro, I would like to live in a room, okay, where I don't have people talking to me all the time. So I like it very peaceful. I want to sit there. I like it really, really peaceful. Okay, if there are three people or four people and they're continuously talking to me, let's say if there's one guy and I'm just sitting on my bed, and that guy comes and sits near me and says hi bro, and this I will also reply hi, how are you and all. Once the conversation is over, I'm busy with my stuff, right? I'll not do anything. I'm just busy with my own stuff. But if he starts bugging me, he starts keeping talking and all, I'll not be able to stand it. I'll just say, bro, can you leave the room and let me be in peace. So this kind of mindset, okay, is similar to how I have the mindset I have. And I think the reason why we are losing on socializing, I do not tend to talk to every person, and I do not tend to gravitate towards every person. Like, yeah, I will have to talk to this man or talk to this woman, share their ideas, ask them what makes things better for them, improve my lifestyle. I'm not that much gravitated towards that person, because whenever I hear a perspective, and that's not the real truth, right? That person is just being the same way with me as they are with other people as well, right? They'll just chill out, talk, and do the thing. We'll never know their true thing, how what they truly are. We'll never know. And for knowing a person, what that person truly is, we'll have to spend some time. We'll have to talk with them. And this is supposed to be your choice. You'll have to make that choice. However, again, this choice has some consequences. Your friend might not have the same habits as you. When your friend does not have the same habits as you, then your culture or his culture might not match together. And because these little things are not matching together, there is a high chance that you and your friend might drift apart and choose to live a different kind of lifestyle. If you understand what I'm trying to say, when we think about the choices we'll have to make, and when we keep the consequences inside our mind, then we take accurate decisions or accurate choices which will not affect or create any repercussions for our choices or the actions which we take. Okay, so a choice can be a mental thing or a physical thing. You choose to eat healthy today might be a mental choice, and which is you know which is again giving rise to physical choice inside your mind. And these things will help yourself as a human being, because I saw myself progress through it. I used to eat non-vegetarian food a lot, but it took me 4 years to convince myself that I'll have to stop eating non-veg and start switching to vegetarian food. And this was not easy, because every time I see a non-vegetarian food or eat non-vegetarian food, I used to love the smell and eat it. Until one day I realized that this should be the end and I'll stop doing it. So it was, being a human being, it was a difficult decision for me, but I wouldn't say a very needed one. It helped it helped make things a little bit different for me. And with this, I just shared my perspective on how to make choices, better choices, so that you could improve your lifestyle, get a better yourself, to make things better for yourself, think about yourself, and take better decisions which would actually work in your favor and not make things difficult for you. All right, don't worry if it makes things difficult for you. Just make sure that whatever choices you make, or whatever decisions you make, whatever actions you take, okay, should not affect anyone's life, any other person's life, physically or mentally. It can be you, but it should not be other person. Okay, just make sure that you do it. You'll not hurt other people's feelings, you'll not hurt other people's mindset, you'll not hurt other people's actions. Make sure you don't do it, because this will again lead to many other repercussions. Okay, the consequences of the actions which you will not like, because it is difficult to again explain it to a person who doesn't understand. Okay, so just save yourself from all that extra work. Give yourself some time, think about it, and act upon it. All right, and that is it for this podcast. I will see you back again later in the next week. All right, I'll also share much of my perspective, what I think, how I think about different things. And this will be an endless process, because uh, through this medium I am speaking into the mic and I am learning myself. Okay, when I am trying to explain things, I'm also thinking of how I am thinking. Okay, so it's like a never ending loop. Even though I am explaining my experiences and the way I look at the world to you, the way you will receive this will completely depend upon yourself. Okay, and you can use this video as an example to test how better are your listening skills, or how good you can listen, how much you can listen, and if you are good at listening to things at all or not. All right, it's a kind of a difficult thing to do, but I would really appreciate if you take some time into improving yourself. Think about your choices, okay, and act upon them with very much caution. We are fragile beings. Okay, that's why we make these rooms, these walls, to protect ourselves from the natural calamities. Or else humans wouldn't have had survived for so long. Survival is the ultimate instinct, right? We will have to survive, and whatever we do to survive will also have to make sense to us. Okay, and make sure that we are not interrupting other natural processes as well. So that's it for the podcast. Again, you guys have a great day. It's a great night. Take care, and we'll meet again in the next podcast, in the next episode. Thank you so much. Signing off. Bye bye.